Hello students, today we will discuss about the accounting of partnership business. We all know the partnership accounting is for the students of second year commerce, and we will restrict our discussions to the Council of Higher Secondary Education Odisha syllabus as it framed. So, we would discuss today about some basics of partnership accounting and profit and loss appropriation account. So, we all know about different forms of business organizations. In first year classes, we have taught that a number of forms of organizations are there, which we can just see sole proprietorship, again partnership, joint stock company, joint Hindu family, and other one is cooperative societies. So, basically there are 5 forms of business organizations: sole proprietorship, partnership, joint stock company, joint Hindu family, and cooperative societies. So, normally the 3 forms of organizations, sole proprietorship, partnership, and joint stock company, this type of organization is meant for small scale. That means small amount of capital is required to form this type of organization. Partnership, this is for middle scale or medium scale. This is for large scale. So, this sole proprietorship business, one man can start this type of business. So, a number of limitations are there for large capital, managerial efficiency, ability to accept the risk bearing capacity. All these things are limitations of sole proprietorship business. Okay? To overcome these type of limitations, the partnership business came into existence. Partnership, what does it mean? So, Indian Partnership Act is framed in the year 1932. So, according to this Act, section 4 defines partnership as the relation between persons who have agreed to share the profits of a business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. Dear students, please look at the definitions prescribed by the Indian Partnership Act. It is a relation between persons who have agreed to share the profits of the business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. So, we would see different features of partnership business. Okay. Different features of partnership business. See, one of the important feature is two or more persons. Two or more persons. Minimum two number of persons are required to form a partnership business, and maximum in this Partnership Act 1932 it is restricted. It is silent about the maximum number of persons required to form a partnership business. But according to the Indian Companies Act 2013, it limits the maximum figure to 100, and in our country the Government of India allows the maximum number of partners in a partnership business to 50 only. So, these persons unite themselves to form the partnership business. Next one is your agreement. Agreement. See, there is an agreement among the members, among the persons, among the partners. Okay? So, there is a relation among the partners. That relation is not natural relationship. Natural relationship means father-son relation, brother-sister relationship, but in case of partnership there is a contractual relationship. Contractual relationship, very important. Okay? So, what is contractual? Because of this organization, an agreement is to be done. That agreement becomes viable because of this contractual relationship. Next one is your lawful business. Business, what does it mean? It includes the production and exchange of goods and services for the business with an object of earning profit, that is business, and that business must be lawful. Unlawful activities cannot be treated as business, cannot be treated as business. Suppose somebody, two persons unite themselves to murder a person, you can't call that as business, which should be for the benefit of the society, that is lawful business. Mutual agency, each partner, each agent as well as principal. All the partners in this firm, they both act as agent as well as principal. In the partnership business, suppose A, B and C are partners. Okay? Individually we call each of them as partner, but collectively we call that a firm, F-I-R-M, F-I-R-M. Collectively we call that as firm, and the name under which this business runs is known as firm's name, F-I-R-M, firm's name. Okay. Then the important feature is sharing of profits. Sharing of profits. Profits, my students, the person, he may be individual or a group of persons. When they start the business organization, what is the aim? What is the objective? The important objective is to earn profit. Okay? Is to earn profit. So, profit is needed to operate the business for various reasons. Why? Why the profit is required? Profit is required for the entrepreneur, for the proprietor who starts the organization, for his livelihood, to maintain his livelihood. Because of money, he starts the organization. Similarly, the employees, the staff who are working in the organization, they always want their higher salary, higher wage. Everybody who is doing service expects more and more salary. Similarly, the investors to the organization who have invested that hard earned money, they expect more from the organization. They expect more return on investment, ROI, return on investment. So, these are the factors of profit. Because of these factors, we have to share, earn the profit and share among the partners. Next feature is liability of partners. Liability of partners in partnership business is unlimited. Liability of partners is unlimited. What does it mean? When the assets of the firm is not sufficient to meet the liabilities of the organization of the firm, then the personal assets of the partners are used to meet the liabilities of the organization, as in case of sole proprietorship. So, liability of partnership. So, features of partnership or characteristics of partnership, then we have to say an important item, important term, that is partnership deed. That is partnership deed. What does it mean? So, we have known that there must be an agreement among the partners how to run the business, when to start the business, what to do, what to manufacture or go for trading organization. Everything they will decide and they have to agree upon. So, remember, all the members, all the partners are not related naturally. There is a contract relationship among them. So, everything is to be written in a document which is known as partnership deed. So, partnership deed is nothing but a document which contains the rules and regulations, conditions of agreement of doing a partnership business, that is the partnership deed. It generally contains the details of about all the aspects of affecting the relationship between the partners, including the objective of business, contribution of capital by each partner, ratio in which the profits and the losses will be shared by the partners, and entitlements of partners to interest on capital, interest on drawings, interest on loan, etc., etc. It's okay. So, this is partnership deed. So, what are the contents of partnership deed? Let me say about the contents of the partnership deed. It includes name and address of the firm and its main objectives, names and addresses of all partners, amount of capital to be contributed by each partner, the accounting period of the firm from which it will start and on which date it will end. That is the accounting period. It may be from January 1st to December 31st or April 1st to 31st March. The date of commencement of the business. Then rules regarding operation of bank accounts, profit and loss sharing ratio. That means, at which ratio the profits earned by the organization is to be distributed among the partners, then rate of interest on capital, interest on loan, interest on drawings, etc. Mode of auditor's appointment. In future, all accounts are to be audited by the auditors. So, what is the procedure? What is the mode of appointment of the auditors? So, salaries, commissions, if any, payable to any partner is to be written in the partnership deed. The right, duties, liabilities of each partner. So, all these are there in the partnership deed. Remember, everything is to be done through this partnership deed, and Partnership Act says there is not mandatory to whether the partnership deed is written or oral, but if it is written, it will be very, very favorable for the organization for any dispute or misunderstanding occurs. the rights, duties and liabilities of each partner. What are the rights, what are the duties and what are the liabilities of each partner is to be written in this partnership deed. The treatment of loss arising out of insolvency of one or more partners in future. If any partner becomes insolvent, do you know what is the meaning of insolvent, my dear students? Accounting equation, assets is equal to capital plus liabilities, assets is equal to equities. Remember, it holds good for each minute of the organization. But when the equities are more than assets, when the liabilities are more than assets, then it is the case of insolvency. So, when a partner becomes insolvent or more than one partner become insolvent, so any loss incurred, how this loss is to be treated, that is also to be given in this partnership deed. Settlement of accounts on dissolution of partnership. If the organization is come to an end, how the accounts are to be settled? Method of settlement of disputes among the partners. If any, in earlier times, in the beginning times, first 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, no dispute arises. But after then, because it is a group of persons unite to do the business, naturally some misunderstanding may occur. Any dispute arises, that is to be settled because of this partnership deed. So, in case of admission of a partner, retirement of a partner or death of a partner, how that is to be treated in accounts. So, all these things are to be written in the partnership deed, but Partnership Act says that the partnership deed may be in written form or may be in oral form. My dear students, as there is no restriction, the deed may be in written form or it may be in oral, but in case of disputes, misunderstanding occurs, if the deed is in written form, that will very helpful for the organization to settle. Okay. So, next we go, if there is no partnership deed or it is framed orally. So, what is the act says? What the act says, Partnership Act? So, in the absence of partnership deed, in the absence of partnership deed, Indian Partnership Act 1932 applies. In the absence of partnership deed, Indian Partnership Act 1932 applies. Very important to remember. Remember, a number of items are there in the partnership deed, but we are discussing about the partnership accounting, how the accounts are to be maintained. Okay? So, there are a number of economical aspects, there are some non-economical aspects. We should remember the economical or monetary aspects of partnership deed. So, when the partnership deed is absent, then this Partnership Act applies. What it says? Very important. The partners will share the profits equally, very important. When the organization is started, there is an agreement. Suppose 3 partners A, B, C, they decide at which ratio the profits earned will be shared among them, 3:2:1 or 2:2:1 or equally 1:1:1. If that is there, the ratio is mentioned in the partnership deed, okay. At that ratio the profits will be distributed. But if the partnership deed is silent, that means the ratio is not there, then Act says do not disturb, don't dispute, distribute the profit equally, very important. The partners will not get any salary. Partners will not get any salary if we are discussing when the partnership is absent. So, salary to partner nil, interest on capital, it is also not to be paid. It is not paid. Drawings, interest on drawings, it is also not to be charged. Okay? In the absence of partnership deed, salary will not be payable, interest on capital is not be payable, interest on drawings is not to be charged, and very important, interest on partners loan, very important. What does it mean? The partners contribute capitals because of necessity, requirements. Suppose some amount is required, I am a partner, I have some surplus of money. So, how would the business will run? We have to avail loans from the banks, is not it? Without availing loans from others, outsiders, I am a partner, I am ready to give to the organization not as a capital, but as loan. Remember, I will lend money to the organization not as capital, but as loan. That is known as partners loan. I am a partner, so partners loan, that is extra beyond the capital amount. If the organization requires and I am able to pay, lend, that is known as partners loan. So, interest on partners loan, very important to remember, my dear students. If there is some agreement regarding the payment of interest on partners loan, we have to pay at that prescribed rate, agreed rate, 15%, 12%, 10%, at which we come, all partners agreed to pay, we have to pay. But in the absence of that item in the partnership deed or absence of partnership deed, interest on partners loan is to be payable at 6% per annum. Per annum, P-E-R, annum, annually, that means annually 6% per annum. This is prescribed by the Indian Partnership Act 1932. It is mandatory. But remember, this is a charge against profit. I will say this is charge against profit. The expenses we can, some expenses are there which we can appropriate. Some expenses are there, appropriation of expenses, some expenses are there which are charged against profits. Appropriation of profit and charge against profit. Some expenses are there which are appropriation of profit. Because of these expenses, the profit is not reduced, the profit is distributed, but charge against profit, some expenses are which are charged against profit. That means, because of this expense, the profit is being reduced. This expense, interest on partners loan, we have to pay. Suppose 1,000 it comes. Because of 1,000, the profit is reduced. Suppose profit amount is 25,000. Had it not be there, if the partners interest on loan, partners loan is not given 1,000 rupees, the profit would have been 26,000. 25,000 plus 1,000, that is 26,000. So, these are the important aspects of items, economical items or monetary items, which we should remember all times to maintain the accounts of the partnership business. We have already discussed about various basic points of partnership business. Today we would see how the profit and loss appropriation account is being prepared, what are the basic points to remember while preparing the profit and loss appropriation account. My dear students, what we do in sole proprietorship business, here in case of partnership business also that follows. First of all, we have some transactions, then we have to journalize those transactions, then post to their corresponding ledger accounts, then a trial balance is given, is to be prepared. Under this trial balance, all the items are there which took place in the business in the form of transactions, is not it? So, all the transactions, all the accounts reflected here and the total must be equal. This is debit balance, this is credit balance. Okay? From this, we have to prepare the final accounts. Final account. So, final account, what does it mean, my dear students? Final accounts. The accounts which are prepared at the end of the closing day of the accounting period, accounting year, that is known as final accounts. It constitutes a number of accounts. First of all, manufacturing account is to be prepared. Organization, for your reference, organization we can classify in two types. One is trading organization, other one is manufacturing organization. Okay? The manufacturing organization means it manufactures the products. The clothes we wear, where we purchase the shirt is not manufactured in that organization. The cloth is prepared, manufactured by other organization, that is manufacturing. It manufactures, produces. The trading organization means it has to acquire the items, ready-made goods, already manufactured goods, that is trading organization. So, if the organization is manufacturing one, it has to prepare the manufacturing account. Here you will get the cost of production. The result of this account is to find out the cost of production. Then we have to prepare trading account. Okay? Here all the items are to be taken to find out the gross profit or gross loss. Okay? Gross profit or gross loss by taking the direct expenses and the materials. Then we have to prepare profit and loss account. Here indirect expenses, indirect incomes. In the credit side, in the debit side, all indirect expenses are to be taken, and gross profit from here is to be transferred here. Then the result is net profit or net loss. All you have known that this is all about your net profit or how to prepare the profit and loss account. This is you have done in case of sole proprietorship business. Similarly, just similarly, we have to prepare the accounts of partnership in the same procedure, same line. So, here what happens, because this net profit what you earn during the accounting period belongs to one person in case of sole proprietorship business, because owner is one. Only one owner is there. Whatever profit earned, that belongs to that person undoubtedly. But in case of partnership business, which we are talking today, here owner is not one. A number of owners are there, a number of partners are there. So, whatever profit earned, that is to be distributed among the partners. Suppose A and B and C are partners, 5,000 rupees is found out as net profit. So, that 5,000 rupees is to be distributed, is to be appropriated among A, B and C. The question arises, at which ratio? I have already told you that if the partnership deed in the agreement, it is mentioned that the ratio at which the profit is to be distributed, then you have to distribute at that agreed ratio. But in the case of silent, in case of partnership deed is silent, the profit is to be distributed equally. So, all these accounts are to be done, are to be maintained, prepared in case of partnership business also. But here the new area which we are going to discuss, after completion of this profit loss account, we have to prepare the profit and loss appropriation account. So, profit and loss appropriation account is nothing but an account where the profits earned by the organization partnership firm during one accounting period is shown how it is distributed, among whom? Among the partners only. So, profit and loss appropriation account, profit and loss appropriation account for the year ending 31st December, or like this. When the date is mentioned, you have to write, otherwise you have to make it blank. Accounting T form, Papa, you have to write Papa. What is Papa? Particulars, amount, particulars, amount. PA, Papa. You have to know it. Amount you have to give in the Indian currency. Sign should be given here, Indian currency. So, first of all, the net profit which you earn, found out by preparing the profit and loss account, is to be brought forward to this account. So, the net profit in the profit loss account appears in debit side. So, it should come in the credit side by net profit. Okay. This amount is to be shown here. Net profit. In case the organization earns net loss, that is to be also taken here, that should appear in the credit side of the profit loss account, and in this profit and loss appropriation account you have to show in the debit side as net loss, if it is there, to net loss, if it is there. Then whatever items given in the question problem, you have to see all the expenses in the form of different items is to be shown in the debit side to interest on capital. If it is given to partners, interest on capital, interest on capital, you have to calculate. Suppose A and B are partners, how much interest is calculated and to be payable to A and to B, you have to write here. Okay. To salary, if it is payable to any partner, to commission, to partners, to bonus, to partners, all items are to be given to partners here. Then by interest on drawings A, B. Okay? Any fine by fines of partners. So, see all the items which appear in the profit and loss appropriation account must be in between the business and the partners only. No transaction, no item which is related to outsiders is to be shown in this account. Only partners related items. Interest on capital belongs to partner, interest on drawings belongs to partner, salary to partner, salary to commission to partner, bonus to partner, any item whether it is payable to the partner or it is to be received from the partner to the organization, only those items are to be shown here. This is nothing but the appropriation of profit, that is distribution of profit. How the profits earned is to be distributed. Then if you compare both the sides, then you will get the difference. Suppose this side comes something, then you have to show the difference, balancing figure. If this side is heavier than this side, that is share of profit. That profit is to be distributed among A and B, the partners. Similarly, if this side is heavier than this side, that is a loss to be distributed, shared by the partners of the organization. Clear my point? So, this is all about your profit and loss appropriation account. But see, my point is that the profit earned by the organization is to be shared by the partners, is not it? Because they have done the work, they worked hard, labor hard and earned something, that is known as profit. Undoubtedly, that profit belongs to partners only. Nobody can share it. That profit amount, suppose this is profit. Okay? Suppose 10,000 profit is there for an organization. That profit belongs to A, B and C. I cannot share it, you cannot share it. The organization, the firm cannot pay any single pie to anybody. Others, can he pay? Can the organization pay? No, because that is the share of partners only. That amount is to be distributed among the partners only. So, this suppose it is 15,000. So, equally means suppose equally the ratio is equal. So, 5,000, 5,000 and 5,000. Okay. The 15,000 rupees is to be distributed among the three equally, that means 5,000 each. But instead of this sharing of profit as a whole among the partners, this profit can be given as interest on capital to partner, salary to partner, commission to partner, bonus to partner. Try to understand me. Instead of, if nothing is there, the profit whole figure is to be distributed among the partners in their agreed ratio. Okay. Another way is there. If all the partners agree, if they agree and come to a conclusion that these items are to be taken into consideration, the interest on capital is to be payable, salary to payable to partners only, commission to payable to partners, bonus to payable to partners. So, some amount is given out of this. Total amount is 15,000, no doubt, profit. This 15,000 rupees is distributed on the different heads. Different heads. Interest on capital, suppose it comes to 1,000. Suppose it is 2,000. It is 3,000, it is 1,000 again, suppose. So, it comes to 4, 2, 6, 7,000. Okay? So, remaining 8,000 rupees you have to distribute among all these three partners in the agreed ratio. Am I clear, my students? There are two alternatives. One is whole amount of figure profit is to be distributed among the partners at agreed ratio. Another way is the distribute under different heads, interest on capital, salary, commission, bonus, etc. and etc. Okay? Then we will discuss afterwards how the various items, interest on capital, salary, commission are to be taken care of. Students, we would see different items which are there in profit and loss appropriation account are to be taken care of. We should be clear about the treatment of different items. Let me first tell you regarding interest on capital. So, what is interest on capital? The capital contributed by different partners. So, if the capitals of all partners are equal and the profit sharing ratio is equal, then no question of allowing interest on capital, remember. But if the capital contribution of different partners are unequal or profit loss sharing ratio is equal, then interest on capital is to be allowed. Similarly, if the capitals are equal, but profit sharing ratio is unequal, the interest on capital may be allowed, because by allowing the interest on capital, all the partners are be able to do the business in well condition. Okay? So, interest on capital, very important to learn it. Interest on capital is an expense to the organization, to the firm, but it is income of the partners, very important to remember. Interest on capital normally is payable on opening capital. Opening capital, remember, this interest on capital is to be calculated from the date of investment, date of contribution to the end of the period when the interest is to be calculated. So, the interest is to be calculated generally on opening capital. In balance sheet, you have done in case of sole proprietorship business, the closing balance, how it appears? Opening capital, add additional capital, add net profit, from this you have to deduct the drawings, interest on drawings, okay, less loss if any. All these things you have to deduct, then you will get the closing capital. So, in the question, if the opening capital is missing, then from the closing capital you have to find out the opening capital. How? Just reverse closing capital, add loss if any, add interest on drawings, because it was less, here you have to add, then add drawings, then whatever amount you will get, from this you have to minus net profit, minus additional capital, minus opening capital, you will get the opening capital here after deducting additional capital and net profit. You have to go from the bottom to top to get the opening capital. Am I clear? From that opening capital, you have to calculate the interest on capital. So, how interest on capital is calculated? That is capital, opening capital into rate of interest into time divided by 100. Am I clear? This is interest on capital. When partnership is silent, do not allow any interest on capital according to the act. Next, interest on drawings, very important. Interest on drawings. What does it mean? As capital contributed by the partners on that figures, you have to give the interest. Similarly, whatever amount either in cash or in kind or goods withdrawn by the partners for their personal use, they will be charged on that figure the interest. That is income of the organization, but lost to the partners, remember. So, when there is something written in the partnership deed regarding how much interest will be given on drawings, then you have to give on that rate. But when the partnership deed is silent, then act says no interest will be given on in drawings. Interest on drawings will not be given to the charge to the partners. Okay? So, interest on drawings. So, very very important how to calculate the interest on drawings. Partners may withdraw either cash or kind or goods in different manner. Somebody may draw on the first day of each month, somebody may draw on the closing day of each month, likewise, or any amount on any day a partner can withdraw for his personal use. So, how to calculate interest on drawings? Very very difficult, but very important to remember that when the fixed amount is withdrawn on first day of each month, okay, then time for interest. This is time for interest. You have to calculate as 6.5 months. When fixed amount is withdrawn on first day of each month, you have to calculate 6.5 months on total drawings. Okay. Similarly, when fixed amount is withdrawn on the last day of each month, then you will calculate for 5.5 months interest on total drawings. If the fixed amount is withdrawn on first quarter, then 7.5 months interest on drawings. Similarly, on the last day of quarter, then 4.5 months interest on total drawings. When there is no schedule, similarly, when the amount withdraw at any day, any time, then that is for 6 months. When time is not there, time of withdrawn is missing, that is interest is to be calculated for 6 months. Is okay. So, interest on drawings is business income, but it is a loss to the partners. Okay. Then comes salary and commission. Salary and commission. If the partnership deed provides any partner to be given salary or commission, you have to pay. Otherwise, no salary, no commission is to be given to partners. Why salary and commission are given? Salary and commission are given to partners who devote more time for the business, who possesses more skills, and who has small share in profits. To balance all the partners, somebody may be given salary and somebody may be given commission, but commission is to be calculated in two ways. It may be given in the question. After charging such commission, after charging such commission before charging such commission. So, in case of when commission is to given in the question, commission is to be given to a partner after charging such commission, that you have to calculate like this: rate divided by 100 plus rate of commission. When commission is to be given before charging such commission, you have to give net profit into rate by 100. You have to see these two terms, after and before. Okay. So, interest on partners loan, interest on partners loan, very important. You see, I have already told you interest on loan, the question says interest on partners loan is to be given. So, if nothing is mentioned, 6% per annum you have to give. Okay. Today we have discussed regarding some basic points of partnership accounting, and we have known that how the profit and loss appropriation account is being prepared. Okay. Thank you very much.